Hello everyone, welcome in. I am Pocket, and in today's video we are going to be talking about what I consider to be the best healing add-on of all time, and that is Voodoo. And no, it's not spelled the way you probably think it is, but that's fine. We are going to talk about a step-by-step process on setting it up, some tips and tricks. And don't worry, even if you are a tank or a DPS, there are still very useful things that you can use in this add-on. So it's not just for healers, but hopefully by the end of this video, you have your Voodoo set up and you are ready to hop in keys or raids and start healing. So let's just jump right in right now. Alright, so first and foremost, what is Voodoo? Well, if you've ever seen me play, Voodoo is those healing panels that you see at the bottom of my screen. And what this allows me to do is macro healing spells to my mouse that every time I click on a panel, it will do a heal depending on what type of click. So whether it's a left click, right click, middle mouse click, what have you, each one of those is set up for a different heal. Alright, so here we are on my druid, and we are going to go through the basic setup. And just as a quick reminder too, you guys can set up your Voodoo however you want. You can just take the tips and tricks that I show you guys and use what you like. So there is no best way, it's all preference on how you like to have yours set up. So, and if there is a question that you guys have during this video, go ahead and leave a comment asking it, or you can always stop by my stream and I will answer all your questions live and in person, and we can just go through it right there and then. That way is honestly the easiest, but up to you, let me know. So first we are going to start off, we're going to go up here, this is our Voodoo icon here, the little blood elf looking girl, and we are going to start off in our spells tab here. Alright, so looking at our spells tab, I already have some spells in here, but we're going to kind of talk through it. So here I have my panel, right? This is just one. I'm the only one in the party, so there's just me here. And we have our left click button to regrowth. If I were to left click on this, that is going to cast the ability. Let me move this off to the side a little bit. Right button, that's going to be our rejuvenation. Middle, that's our life bloom. So on, so forth. So you can set this up however you like. So we can also go to the shift here in the modifier key. This is going to give me a whole nother list of spells. So left click is going to be my regrowth. If I hold down shift and do a left click, that's going to be my wild growth. So this is how we can have many spells macro to our mouse by just using the few buttons that we have. And a little tip as well, if you are someone who plays multiple healers, it is best to use the same macro for the same type of heal. So on my druid here, my left click is my short cast ability, which is going to be regrowth. It's going to be flash of light on my paladin, it's going to be healing surge on my shaman, and so forth. So that way when you jump into your different classes, it's pretty much the same thing. The only thing that's a little bit different here is right click is a rejuvenation on my druid, while right click is usually the long cast healing ability on my other characters. And then like shift left click is always my AoE heals. So little stuff like this makes it a lot easier to jump back and forth. Another thing that you can do as well, if you do not want to cast a spell when you click on someone's panel, you can always come over here, take out the spell and just put target. And what that will do now is it'll just target. So if you are playing a tank or a DPS character, you can pretty much put any targetable ability up here. So if you're playing like a mage and you want to get better at decursing people, you can just put decurse as like a right click button. So when you right click on them, it'll decurse them. If you're playing a tank like a warrior and you want to be able to use intervene more effectively, you can type in intervene in any one of these, and then anytime you're playing, you just click on the panel and it will cast the ability. You don't even have to have the ability on your action bar. So that's why I think this is a super effective healing add-on, and it works for all classes. So alright, so now that we have all of our healing abilities set up onto our mouse the way we like it, we have our normal clicks, we have our shift clicks, stuff like that. Let's go ahead and go over here to this miscellaneous tab here. And we're gonna look at this miscellaneous box right here. So the first one here is target unit. Whenever I click on a panel, I will target that unit as well as cast the ability that I have it macroed to. So if I'm targeting this NPC here, I click on my panel, I will now target myself. If I take this off, if I'm targeting this NPC and I click on my panel, I will maintain targeting the NPC. So you can kind of use this how you like. I like to have it checked. That way I will always target the person that I'm healing. That's the way I like to do it. Next we're going to look here at the Smart Cast. What Smart Cast is it will cast your spell without it being macroed to your button. For example, if I were to click on a dead panel, like someone who's dead and I click on their panel, it will Smart Cast Resurrect. If I'm in combat, it'll just cast Battle Res without it being macroed to the mouse. So we can do that with buffs, we can do that with cleanse. I highly recommend, I think it auto checks it to cleanse. I highly recommend taking this off because, for example, if you are doing a boss like Tindral where you have to dispel but you don't want to do immediate dispels, you still want to be able to heal the person as they run the mechanic out. You don't want that clicked because it will immediately dispel them when you click on their panel trying to heal them. So I recommend taking it completely off. You don't want to Smart Cast Cleanse and have a different button macroed to your cleanse. That way you can cleanse when you want to, not as soon as you click on the panel. Now we are going to head over to our panels tab down here. We're going to go ahead and go to sizing. This is where we can size our panels. Pretty self-explanatory. We can make them big, we can make them small. You can change the height, whatever you want. So that's how you change the sizing there. Now we're gonna go to bars, click on this guy, and under bar texture, I like to use clean. There's a whole bunch of different ones that you can click on that you can pick whatever it is that you want, that you think looks good. I use the clean look there. And then here you can also change your mana bar height, stuff like this. I think this is very good for raiding specifically, or if you're a tank, you want this somewhat big so you can see your healer's mana bar, as well as if you're raiding, you can see the other healers in your raid as well. Here, this is where we can toggle off class color, so if we don't like class colors, we can go solid and they will all look gray. We can do gradient, so it will be green for full health, and then as they take damage it will turn red. So class colors is obviously the way to go. I don't know why you do anything else. We can head over here to the headers panel, and I like to turn it off, but you can show. It makes it, honestly, it makes it a lot easier to grab your panel and drag it around if you do have the header. If you have it off, you have to like grab the tiny little edge. It just makes it cleaner in my opinion, so I like to turn it off. Now let's go ahead and look at our hot icons. So we are in the panels tab, we are under hot icons, and in this tab, this is where we can set up all the hots that we have as healers that will go on to our friends. So for example, if I click rejuvenation, it's gonna put up a, let me make the size bigger. It will put up a little icon and it will count down to tell us how much is left on it. We use regrowth, life bloom, wild growth, whatever you want, right? So we have our different slots. We can type in the spell ability here. You also have a drop down button that will sometimes just give you, Voodoo will just grab the hots that your class has and we'll just have it in there. But if it's not in there, you can always type it in, once again, word for word. So just make sure that you are looking up here at your hotbar and figuring out what the actual name of it is, and you can type it in there and then it will come up on your panels. So this is essential if you're playing a druid. In my opinion, you need to know what hots are on players. Honestly, it's essential for healers in general, so just make sure you have this on, set it up how you like. Over on this side, you can change the positioning of where you want your hots to appear. I always go with this bottom one, that's the way I like it. And then you can also kind of like change the icons, but I just like to have the icon showing me rather than having some type of color, but that's the way we like to do it. Now we're gonna go to our colors tab here, and this is where it's gonna show me the different stuff that I can dispel. So my entire panel, if someone's poisoned, is going to change to this color. Disease, curse, magic. That's how I know I needed to dispel as a healer, and that's how I know what type of dot it is. So super good to have this. I'm never going to change it because why would I? I've been using this the entire time. And last, let's go and look at the move panel. The only thing that I use this move panel for is when I first log in on a new character and set Voodoo up, it will have a pets bar here. So as a healer, I don't want to see your hunter pet or your warlock pet. I don't want them on my screen. It's annoying. They're big. I don't want it. So you'll see one that says pets, and you're just going to hit the X on it, and you'll never have to see another hunter pet on your screen ever again. So that's how you get rid of that. Alright guys, so that is pretty much it for setting up Voodoo. Everything else that you can do in there is all preference based on how you want things to be displayed on your screen. But as far as the functionality aspect goes for Voodoo, that's all you really need. So hopefully this gets you guys started and lets you customize a little more and allows you to heal better. So I appreciate you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Thank you.